Welcome yet again to another lovely episode of the Motivational Maniac podcast. It is I, yours truly, Thando Nkonyana, as your host, and this is yet another segment and episode to our journey through the concrete jungle. Our journey refers to everyone that I encounter through the tribulations that I have gone through, but regardless, we continue forward. I am proud of what I've built. I'm proud of the person that I'm becoming. And this is me sending out to the universe that for you, Thando, to continue to prosper and continue from where you left off. The legacy that I want is the one that I'm prepared to die for. I'm prepared to give in my blood, sweat, and tears for everything because I know it matters. Namaste.
End up ending so much land with overall.
Yeah.
Bas colonizer sonke kaloku
I want to be
emhlabeni wonke.
violent, but I feel like violence is not always the answer.
Ah,
You know,
you have to be
Because-
strategic if you're gonna be
Yeah.
violent. Chi.
because they were strategically violent now, and they say inzima they say bona they were violent to take our shit, but we can't be violent.
You must take the land how it was taken,
Yeah,
my
Jonah.
brother.
We are slaves, man. All these big corporations, when you go in Cape Town, these big buildings are owned by them, man.
Unilever, G.
No! The
Unilever.
KPMGs, do you see how KPMG looks, bro? It's a Windows car building. Imagine, you first near a car building. I call Nice first. That's a lot of money, G. Hey, this city. Hey, come here, town, bonus.
Anyway, even the FNP building.
There by the parade. Anyway,
But
when
the
you're an
parliament is
adult
dope.
and you go there, bro. Not when you were a teenager. I didn't give a fuck about all that shit.
Except you
And
know
I
why
was
we have two
grown.
capital cities in South Africa?
You are
Shit.
our city.
It's dope. It's dope. Do you know why we have two capital cities in South Africa?
Ngagi, this city is for ballers, bro. That's why when you groot man by say, you won't make it here doing this music shit. You make it here by studying and having a profession. You groot man never enough for the language straight up. Julie Mac.
But not always, man. Cape Town's a
Man.
buzz. Hip hop's here now.
No.
Hip hop's here now. Hip hop's here now.
Greeks freestyle, bro.
You listen to Greek also, no? Ay, Greek God. I think damn. Damn.
It's hard, bro. Bueno.
Mbogi ithi heni kodwa phakathi liplanga. Spathi sokakuchi kodwa phakathi azimanga. Hayi, stop. You know parliament must.
Yeah,
Urhulumente the parliament.
parliament.
Except. Yes, I'm saying, do you know why we have two capital cities in South Africa?
Why?
Do you know we have two capital cities, bro?
I thought it was one, Pretoria, isn't it?
Nice. Pretoria and Cape Town.
Cape Town!
Because of
But
parliament.
they told us in the books it was one, though.
No, it's Cape Town because
it's
of
the
parliament, yeah.
I remember in 2015 that I told him, to take me to town when that shit was happening. To see the
No, we saw
commotion
that.
and my pool was born. Yo, we saw how it was locked down and everything. Yo. Maar
Yeah,
we
the
reden
president.
exactly. Maar uit de honorable man, yo, the lachen, I mean, the vicinity. I'm like, damn, this shit hard. Zuma there.
Aber Zuma was the best president for me.
Yeah, I told
As
you,
Zuma, entertainer.
Jacob Zuma, bravo,
Entertainer.
interrogate from Julius Malema. Yo, that was hard.
Remember Helen
Yeah,
Zille?
wait.
Remember Helen Zille and Zuma?
Me got movies through radio, bruh. I was imagining.
Yeah, you're trying to fathom and make a picture.
And that's what I like about
Bullshit,
radio.
bro.
Radio pushes imagination.
Mm.
Because even with the soapies they play there on radio, they talk stuff. But I don't know, but and you can imagine.
Yeah.
Hey,
It was the ones when you were
Yeah.
growing up, dude. You
Ithina le nto leyo imfihlelo yobomi. Yeah, they still play, bro.
You
still play them, bro.
This is cause you, I loved it. It is awesome, bro. I can relate. I have a fucking.
And
time.
someone wrote that, guys. Yeah, so that
Guys,
it can be submitted for.
That's what I'm saying.
Boom,
I have two
they
concepts
play.
for two movies, bro.
God damn.
I think these movies are gonna be dope. If we're gonna, I wanted to chat this with the Rabi, like movie by you, I'm like, nigga, you don't know me, you.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't know me. Even you recording. Okay, shit. I was about to say that shit.
Yeah, don't say
Hey,
that
I was about to say that shit. But Tati, I want us to chat over these shit, that songs, just to feel like I want positive. No, I want criticism, even though it's bad, even though it's good, yeah, bro.
Yeah. Man, our kids deserve more.
Yes, sir.
Because our kids are inheriting a lot of trauma, man. And it's messed up, fit. And our parents, fit, at never one instance they never even held themselves accountable for la way. Because Tina Fetu, sometimes siyakula and we don't even understand why we can't have relationships nabantu nendoni. Kana siyazi bas inheritate trauma from born, that abandonment. Bruh, I used to think my mom was lying about that, but the older I got to see Ezra scars and how when even my dad's name has been mentioned, bruh. I'm gonna be grand because of that hurt, bruh. Yeah, man. And he should be held accountable for that, And just imagine if now I took that ignorant mindset and then I moved Wolakhob. So our parents, in honest fact, they don't teach us how to survive in this world, It's like it's like even being their child. Yamtyala umntu, bro. My kid needs to depend on me, bro. Kolondo up. I'll support my child through and even think about Tina and that emotional support that we never even got from our dads. To be honest, our dads never taught us how to be men, bro. Even being man, even manhood now is so toxic, bruh, that a lot of men want to opt out, bruh. If you want to get them, you have to be toxic now. As simple as that. And it's messed up, bruh, because what are you teaching the young generation, bruh?
And manhood, not about that.
Are we living in tainted times? Sungs always says it's end times that thing. Like we were just sitting at the park the other day, and I was observing the fact that 11-year-olds now are taking selfies, bruh. They worried about their image now. They sleeping over at their boyfriend. I heard about a 12-year-old who's doing that. Sleeping at a boyfriend's place. The kind of kids we live with now. Bruh, at 12 years, I couldn't even think about not sleeping at home.
6 lights on.
You're in that house. The privilege these kids have today, bruh. I wouldn't dare, dude. That's why it's easy for them to be trained into all of these things.
I remember Fika. Okay. Don't forget.
Oh, I know that girl. But
you know how it should be in the hood.
The hood never ceases to amaze me, bro.
But one thing I can say about this place, if you're weak, it's gonna break you.
Yeah.
If you're strong, it builds character.
Yeah, it builds character.
Brilliant character. A good character comes from the hood. Just a matter of when you're strong, you won't fall under the pressures of being born. The area space we're born, you feel like you have to experience your own way. Now, can be in crowd, born in crowd and partner down.
And be amongst abantu.
But you must also reach your point of realization where you like, nah, this is what works for me, this is what works for me, this is what works for me. Okay, the in crowd is not with what works for me, out of the in crowd with myself. But at the end, it's all about us. See, uzothemba impressa ukandi lami wena wenzela yena. Yena besenzela yena yabonke ngokwenzela yena kabul.
Yo yeah, ube wena uyazigqiba ke ngoku yena. Yabo.
So how about making sense of it all?
And another thing, Bandz, the road to hell, bruh, is paved with good intentions. Person will never show you Babayak destroy of it when they're destroying you. And the hood is is known for that. If you remember, these neighborhoods are not gonna change if they just become worse.
Hugging the plugs that don't
Hugging the plug, but the plug get hugging back.
It's like me. That's what I also came to a point of realization. But when she kaya, you better out in the streets most of the time. I'm gonna come to me. Tell me that don't like that. No, like me. I'm trying to get that's knowledge. Shooting at the building.
Look so humble, young up.
I was like, damn. Isn't it like
that's some real shit, yeah, fit. It's like we neglect It's like you're busy looking for diamonds.
Like, don't open. And don't make us feel like we're open, but
today they too hard. Sometimes we know they could offer the help, but based on the relationship I created amongst there's no accountability. Even the things that we couldn't discuss. Like I couldn't even sit down and talk to my mom about shit I was going through, especially through my teenage life. But you would expect a parent to be there for you. But yeah, it was hard, man. And this world, it's even harder because now teach different ways. Because there's no figure even kwalapha endlini.
Religion is gonna die, ne?
Yeah.
But one thing I'm sad about the death of religion is that morals are gonna go out the window. Abantu akazikwenqena ubethi ngayo for bayali bathi okay kubhizi ngekhona. Okay, aba bamakhona abayashukulisa man. Bafuna ukuthi ngalo bafuna ngabethi inhloko owns it. Yeah. It doesn't have the moral by umuntu nalo uyaphila usenzele isakho sonke njengoba namthungu wenza isakho sonke. Izawuphela yonke lo wini.
Yo, you have a good point right there.
Izawuphela. It's gonna be hell, yeah. No Buddhism, no Muslims, no Christianity, no Rastafaris, nothing. It's gonna die.
Yo, you had some real shit in Yan.
One thing I love, this is where we're gonna see the real powers come into play, in my opinion. Because the people that are really gifted will never die.
The creatives, bruh. Because when they can adapt to anything that's gonna be happening, bruh. Any scope of change that is thrown at them.
And except for the creatives, that's in, like spiritually gifted people.
Ooh.
That never die. It's not a matter of boy. If plants are possible, because you need plants. Impepho sezobakhona for years and years to come. Basezophahla abantu basezothini. Bazongokola abantu zizobakhona imedium. Basezobakhona abantu ababonayo that akazuphela yonke la. Kalo ngokulifika like aba baba-spiritual bazo-isolate abantu. So bazobona bayi-track.
Yeah, but is
the more remember it has to balance. The more we realize the evil side of the world, the good has to come into play. Balance, you have to keep balance. So when they're gonna cut the religion in but the spiritual part will never die. But this is our bonus, but this is gonna happen. People were not dumb back in the day, black chiefs having their own sangoma so that they see what's happening.
Yeah, well, they knew purpose yayo la way.
I feel like they're gonna get isolated one. Because by direct abundance no abandon by some fees. And you know how spiritual.
Yeah, and then they're gonna warn the masses, so they're gonna have to isolate them. Hey, that's a good one, Bandz, yes.
I feel like this is all that's gonna happen in the next 500 years. Just so what happened in the last 500 years. How many industrial revolutions have happened in the last 500 years? Four whole industrial revolutions. And each industrial revolution is an area you inflict on the economy, on the people, on the environment. And the specific factors of needed consideration all contribute in a revolution and opening of jobs, opening of new sectors, community discovery, so that open factories for that. Bandz, there's gonna be so much of that by the third industrial revolution. After that, the world, that's why we're trying to move to other planets.
Looking at Mars.
And I think the main reason they're looking at Mars, it would be better if they make Mars a place of work. that make after 3.
Fetu, isn't there like any energy source that is available there on Mars? Because they couldn't be thinking about extracting energy source from Park and the others to.
Each planet has a core. Core is energy. And remember, the Earth, we core yayo in a mental. To mental yetu, that's where all the carbon and don't form. Then pumela makeba, diamonds, gold.
Yeah, because that's where all these natural resources are created.
Think of
ago in this decade, people were wanting alcohol. It's the same thing that happened with lockdown, and the alcohol was prohibited. They had alcohol in behind the upper cooks. They still had people selling. That was happening in the 20s.
There was this wave of people creating their own alcohol. This Komfan with that pineapple and ginger. Remember that homemade?
2020.
Yeah, we're fair too.
I didn't know that.
Sure, fair too. I had a sip of that once, bro, and it wasn't nice, really. I've got kunzima fethu during lamaxesha, especially when alcohol was scarce to get. You couldn't get any because obviously the country was on lockdown, and then.
But some people did have alcohol in park. It's like they bought in park.
Yeah, there were also warnings. There were warnings, obviously, before that whole debacle hit. About okay, there was going to be something of this nature that's going to happen.
2019.
Yeah. So everyone went panic buying. Remember when they were buying out toilet papers and so on, like it was no one's business. Yeah, that kind of instance. So those who had money, obviously, they were in the clear. Since they had that advantage of.
They made a business out of it.
Yeah, the financial. So I remember these times in the shops. Sorry, at one point there were no toilet papers.
Yeah, I remember in the malls. Most the stores are closed live. Like they were even when I remember when I was working at the mall. I was working at no food, bro. And kalup home I must doing my food for my lunch. Except value McD, KFC. It was weird, bro. Shit was so weird. This is 2021, this is not even 2020.
It ain't even that far.
It was the year of looting you had. 2021 South Africa, bro. A lot of shit was happening.
Do you think la looting fair to our people just thought about it and just did it out of the blue?
Damn. I don't know, bro. That shit just came out of nowhere, dude. You think it was planned?
My thought of the thing is there were people who had like bad intentions that benefited and also used la opportunity.
I need some people were bored to do that looting shit. Okay, and you're trying to say that?
No, I'm trying to say, Guti, there's much more than meets the eye.
We don't really know what
Yeah,
so the news, the news propaganda the fuck out of us.
Because I was tuned in when they were looting, like all these TV stations were there. They were interviewing the people, guys, why are you doing this and so on. And like I feel like now they are not reporting news now. They're just trying to push a narrative as well, because in many times CNN has done it from the States. And masingalibali, what's the main purpose of why we created TV networks in the first place? News networks.
Yeah. So they can get to us easily.
Yeah, so TV fethu mna kuba nzima bayinfumane because ndazikhupha kudala kuyo fethu. Because I saw that as a form of indoctrination, soapies, something that I don't even give two shits about. Exactly. Because akon nix informative, dog. Like they play so much bullshit that even the good shit bayidlala xa silele. I see that in SAPC 2 when they're playing that history things and so on. They always play it the weekend, emva ko 9 or 10. What is happening mostly in the weekend? People are drunk. People don't care about the TV. And yet the bullshit that indoctrinates them. At 8 o'clock. at 8:30, at 6:30, or whatever time these soapies are playing. Then people can tune in.
Pushing the relationship, how relationships should be.
Yeah, we're fair to, because we can't disacknowledge how social media and also media in its entirety shapes how we live our life. Many of us, we want to be Americans because the American propaganda machine is running at its highest. We want to dress like them, we want to talk like them, we enjoy their music, their movies. Bruh, America saw how well their propaganda machine was running. It's like, look at these people. They basically looking at our media. They're looking at Hollywood.
It's many countries that love.
Yeah,
like
we're fair
America,
to,
bro,
because of the
Hollywood.
amount of influence it has. Fair to. It's the most affluent nation in the world. I put it there with China and Russia as well. But it's just that the Western propaganda machine is running very well, and most of us are not even prepared to go to the dictionary and go and ask what is propaganda in the first place. Because the great Hitler used it. That's how he took ownership of Germany. But our people are even lazy to go and read. More focused on the pain. They did this to us. Basenza lento. How about we start now educating ourselves in an informative way? Remove the emotions, songs. Remove everything that is going to prevent us from getting to the root, and that is truth. Because we were not born to struggle, Fed. We were put in this position. But even in these positions that we are put in, we still prosper. We still find ourselves, Fed, creating. How many misdemeanors did we face just alone these past 11 months? Ups and downs, left and right. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. But the one thing I always want the audience to always tune into is the fact that you need to love your life regardless, man. You can't love it when things are good. You need to love it when things are bad as well. Because no matter how much you can wish for someone else's life, that is a wish that will never be granted. Michael Jackson will always be Michael Jackson. May his soul rest in peace. There will never be another Michael Jackson. How often, Feta, do we wake up and aspire to be us? What do I like? Who would I want to be? Who are the people I'd like to be around? But when we're tuning in too much, we identify ourselves with them. Obviously, you're going to codify these people like you said. You're starting to notice how people are codifying these same people that they're following and forgetting but they have lives of their own they need to live.
Exactly.
That person, when's I network you can go.
You part of the agenda. I mean, you part of the system. You part of, you used. You what you call it? We all guinea pigs, bro. Experiments of if I use this, would this be good for the masses? And they have the reach of the masses, bro. They were smart by making like the world to be in a monetary system, because they know that in order to do all these things,
it's like they want
money.
They constantly need to keep us in a cycle. That's why they invented the rat race. They had to invent that rat race.
You have a cap in your salary. You don't have your own thing that can spiral and go bigger to bigger heights if you grow it. No, you're working for somebody.
And how sad can that be, bro?
Even if you CEO, you still have a cap.
Because now if we had tax of it.
And to get to the CEO level, we had to work so many years in that company probably, bro. So you put your soul. You signed that contract, basically sold your soul. I know they were telling about the music only. Baba. Even your aunt, your brother sold their soul, bro, to that company they're working for, bro. They're getting certain X amount of money to do a service for that cult,
in exchange for that, bro.
for that cult, G.
Yeah, so
So-
your revenue yabiyanyuka while when you are staying in one place. But it's quite different if to the different culture that I'm seeing even amongst like young people ngoku. How some of us, and not all of us, are not walking into a situation with our eyes closed. 2022 is going to be a year that we are never going to forget in our lives, right? Due to the amount of experiences that we went through just in this 1 year. We went through love, we went through hate, we went through turmoil, we went through destruction. There was sadness, there was happiness, there was all these different kind of emotions, right? And even though all these things happened, we had ourselves. And that's one of the most important things I want each and every individual to take for what I'm trying to put out there is don't devalue yourself by not acknowledging what you know. What you know and what you have been through is the sufficient amount of experience that required you to be in this position that you are. And I like greatness, bruh. And I saw this TikTok guy, Mike Tyson, that said, study the greats and do what the greats do if you want to be great.
In a way. Don't godify them. Just study them so you can add into your own team, bro. Because when you godify people, and you're just praising them. But you like their shit, no? But you're just praising them. You're not doing anything in inspiration
even,
from
yeah,
them.
even that value that they provide from the mere fact that they give us their stories, they come from adverse backgrounds and so, and you ain't using that. All when S04E15 is the fact that you just watched it and think that is all that will come out of it, and yet you already had played yourself in the first place.
Even architecture and engineering itself, bro, that is insane. If you'd godify people, I'd godify those people that came up with those sketches for the buildings and shit that we see.
That came out of someone's mind, bro. That really came out of someone's mind. And for Lando and Asungs, we need to reassert ourselves to the fact that the mind is powerful. Look at everything that's around us. It came from the mind. No one said that I will know how to build. We had to picture what would the structure look like. What would be the things that would be against, that would prevent us from having such structure. What is the environment that you're building on top of this? Because let's remind people again, Dubai was built on top of a desert.
That's engineering and architecture.
An entire city is built on a desert. Sure, bro. Engineers and all those type of people had to be put together so that they can formulate this plan, and then Dubai comes. That's the desert, the sand. So what's stopping us, Veto, from collaborating and doing powerful things?
Nah, we need to hate on each other and all that, so that we don't grow. That's why they promote hate culture so much, so that we as black people don't come together, bruh, and build something huge.
Like just to divide and conquer.
Yeah. They don't want the black man to be empowered, bro. That's why they made townships and all that, to separate from what's happening for real. And people that come from the townships of Kolasela, they go to work, Sambi. It's so sad in their malls, going far as hell, bruh.
To the outskirts.
Guess how much it costs just to get there, bruh, for that person.
3-4
That's a
times
lot of
from-
money, bruh. And Excel amali. Abazukni transport fare, bruh. It's from your own things.
And you find it good you could be even working for a transport fare, bro.
Yay, you basically working for transport fare and food, survival.
Oh, that's
Don't even have money to clothe yourself yet. Don't have all that shit, bro.
And you see how important it is as a nation for us to build parallel systems to what systems already exist in the first place. Because we Sungs basically can't teach our kids to go through the same shit we went through and the same shit our parents went through. Because it's traumatic, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking traumatic. And look at where it's taken us as a people. You end up being young, fit, and and full of doubt, full of, you basically have no hope. And there are many aspects of this country that we are being deprived from. But they exist and they do happen. But with the power of social media, we can be able to have all these things out there, Fethu.
Yeah.
We can't be young and ignorant, dog.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I just ask of us as young people, is that be blessed with all this knowledge and all this access, and we don't use it. We neglect it and we fail to use it to our advantage. Because when our kids ask us, Mom, Dad, why are you illiterate? Why don't you know how to use a phone? What are you going to tell your kid? When they ask you that, Mom, why don't you know how to hold a pen? Why don't you know how to write your name? And yet you grew up in a culture where knowledge was accessible everywhere. Like, ignorance now is the price that you pay. And it's vastly impossible for any of us to say they have no means to learn.
Sad.
I think that's you as a person taking the easy route out. Because I like to use my own life as an example, especially how I move. In that I just went into the University of YouTube. Get online, guys. There's a lot of things you'll learn. There's a lot of people that you'll meet. You'll get to be supported, like instantly now. How many people are subscribing and seeing into Zako that you don't get to see on a daily basis? But there are those that you see them physically on a daily basis that claim Thando, but whenever you do something, you get no support from them. I can't be out here trying to build something and then have to beg you, the same people that know me, support my thing, knowing full well, Uguti, my shit is hard. I don't need the validation, Yako. The only thing I need is for your support. Remove your emotions and genuinely support people. That is when I see, Uguti, we are matured. When we can remove our emotions. Bob go I'm na embal. No chicken.
She doesn't know how to distinguish between a man and a female.
She knows, but
yeah,
I'm up there.
That's funny. Anyway.
Yeah, you see, my bruh. So we really can't be navigating on that kind of landscape from here onwards, because it's quite vastly impossible. Because we know a lot now. We went through a lot. We can't disacknowledge. Like, Sungs, you can't hurt me unyaka wonke and I still keep you by my side. Money at the back of my mind. I hope you will do better next time. I hope you will do better next time. We are all flawed. We are human beings. But when you do it continuously, it's a decision, guys. It's not a mistake, it's a decision. And I've seen how you are going to pay the price when you neglect your dreams. And it's a price that I was not willing to pay any further. I just needed to put my head down and get to it. Because my work will speak for me. As there are people who are going to go your entire life, they're going to be fighting you. No matter how successful you get, they're always going to try to find pockets in your success. And that's part of it.
And I'll be far away from those.
Exactly. That shit won't even mean nothing to you because you're far away from that.
They'll just be hating in the background. Even if they get successful too, bro, they'll hate on you.
Nangoku, still, you're just a successful hater. Nothing changed, bro.
There are successful haters out there. They are. Trust me. I've been seeing how in the industry, like how people be hating on each other, bro. But they're successful, bro. Like, I don't get it. Like,
yeah, ain't their mind supposed to be on improving where they
man.
are? Like, you got to the door now. You need to go further
like
into
how
the
can
vicinity.
you hate on another person that's feeding their family? And we're all black, bro.
And that's the one thing I love about being human. We all want to be fed. Ain't nothing different. This year also, Sungs, it taught me that be grateful for even 2 rand, 5 rands, $10. Because I can't be grateful for that 10,000 bucks if 100 rand I can't treat it with tender love and care. A lot of us think we need money, but we fail to acknowledge that we need the right mindset. What's the use you have all this money but you have a messed up mindset? Because you want to quickly lose that same money. Hey, voilà,
I saw my uncle do that. One of my uncles.
You can't cheat that, bro. Nature doesn't work in that kind of nature.
He spent the hell out of his money after his mama passed.
Was it money that he worked for?
Inheritance from his
Lord.
mama. He spent the hell out of
Let's
that.
talk about that inheritance, dog. Hey, the amount of people that I've encountered in life in Yam that have no sense of remorse towards the money that they never worked hard for. I think I would never disrespect my parents in that kind of nature. Whereas if I got to be there while they were building their legacy. I've seen many black families who had legacies left by their parents, and now those same legacies have perished because the kids refused to learn. The kids refused to go to my missing on.
Nah, they wanted to do something else. They wanted to contribute to the white man, but by doing that other
Yes,
thing.
they with the same family values that were given, which is in many instances, I'd like to say kudos to all the black parents who have left something for their kids to thrive on. It doesn't matter whether it's imali, it's a house, but at least you gave something lamnana that they can start with. And Park used to talk about this. Why do black kids have to start with nothing? While other people have to live in a room with 75 rooms. A mansion, with 75 rooms. Their own towers and so on. And yet other black kids have to start with nothing. No food, no basic needs, no proper housing.
This was in the 90s.
This was in the 90s, and it's in America. This happens in all prospering nations. There's poverty everywhere. It's just that they're so good at hiding it in some instances. Where are the black Chinese? Because all you see when you're tuned into Chinese media is just white Chinese people. Where are the people that look like us? Because you can't tell me there ain't no black people in China. There ain't no black people in Japan. Nigga, the samurai came up with the black man. That's why they say now, even now, in Japanese culture, they say you have to have a bit of African blood to be a true samurai. What is that? Black man, you great, man. But you fail to acknowledge your hunger because the world has been bleached, Ngoku. Where you believe that white is more privileged, white is more intelligence, and yet the darker you are, the more melanin, and also the more intelligence you had. Look at our tombs in Egypt. Look at our pharaohs, bruh. They were dark as charcoal, sitting on thrones. But no, they will tell you, nah, Egyptian whatever, doesn't matter. Egyptian whatever, doesn't matter. That happened a long while ago. Slavery doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? America was built on the backs of slavery. There were forefathers who were taken from this continent and sent to another continent to go work for their entire lives in bondage. No one said, brother, would you like to get on this boat? Yeah. There's very nice opportunities elsewhere. Because they will fail even to acknowledge that they came many times to Africa, but they were defeated. But because they are the people writing history, they can't write that. It's our responsibility to tell our stories, songs. Nobody's going to tell us we can't say this and we can't say this. Because we are the people going through this. I'm experiencing this. I'm going through all of this. Sure. Now, why does a person who never got to be in my position? Because that is what happens in many instances. History was told by people who were never there. They were not there to encounter the situation. This is what they thought.
Where did they get this research? I've always thought like this. What's this, man? I get your research, bro. When you say I come from Boston, and I come from Harvard, like, yeah, I'm not much, but it's from an appears with in Kanye.
How did Harvard get to be an elite school? Yeah, about Georgetown and all these. Yeah, but why did these institutions? And did you hear about the minister was lying about qualifications? Saying he went to Harvard. They go and check there. Harvard said he never gave me.
How did it get that to that point where I'm just by minister got by John?
No, sorry, it's not a minister. I'm not sure, but it's something in road accident, whatever. Road accident fund. I'm not quite sure, guys, so I stand to be corrected. Because I heard that, I think 2 or 3 weeks or a week ago on the news about this person. They found out his qualification and they were getting about 250,000 rand a month.
Oh.
The amount of corruption in South Africa. Yeah, well.
It's a cruel world, bro. It's an evil world. And the sooner people realize it, the better, dog. That's why on how to improve them.
Yeah, let's put some light, man, in this corner. Like I said, bro, I chose my corner and I'm gonna dominate in it. That's what we must do with it. Let's just dominate our score. We can't change everything, but let's because we identify masiyenze, dog, and the mere fact that savuka nangoku and being grateful, siphinde sizixelele uba hey ayiphelelanga apha siyendaweni fethu. And I want people to point at us and say, I remember those dudes when they were nothing. Because andifuna ukhumbule yonke loo nto. Remember the value we leave behind. Because some people back to me, you're just talking because you want to sound smart, no? Kukho abantu who value what we're doing, bro. So we can't deprive them of land. It's the same thing my best friend likes to say, like, don't deprive the world of your greatness, Thando. Just because kukho umntu onelengxaki ngawo.
There's people that's still gonna be born that's gonna find out about.
Dude, yayibona lawe?
That's how you're supposed to think. Not ngabantu bangoku.
Hayi, ngaba. Yeah. It's the same thing I loved about Bulelani Peqezi when he started following me. But hey, my brother, you don't have a lot of followers. Nobody's liking a lot of your shit. But hey, you don't stop. Yeah, I'm not predicating it on whether people like my things or not. But we acknowledge one another because we are getting value. That I love e-posters because it's educative. Their phone, every time on the page, there's something I'm learning. The same thing that now to Ifumana, let's keep that going.
Yeah.
Because in most instances, people can get likes, bruh, and you find it's not relatable. This is me, lo, and
people on Facebook get like likes, bruh, for funny shit that's not even funny. It's always about dumb shit.
It's a traumatic story, but bruh, this is the nature of things. People don't want to be educated, they want to be entertained.
Entertainment.
So you can't come in an entertainment mindset to us, Brian, think you're gonna create your way. You're not, man. We way past that. Like even when we entertain ourselves, you're not even gonna know Basi as entertain. Because you'll be thinks we are educating, but we're entertaining ourselves. Don't think we're boring. It's because I was nicks. You don't know anything about us. So now it's easy for you to judge songs because that's nicks now. That now I sat with you the entire year. You told me your experience. I told you experiences. Now I know a little bit more about you. I still don't know you. There's still many things we need to go through. So we must give each other a chance as people. See, remove as limitations of having other people's opinions about who that person is. Singing in as a good relationship. It's the same thing when you hear, hi, fethu lo mntana sisifebe. Umntana utshiwe ngamajita, umbuzo umtshile wena. Wakhe wahamtsha nje busithi usisifebe. Twaka. Twaka, you could find ukuthi wayemfuna zange wavunywa kwanye whatever. Like siqhutshwa zizinto fethu singazi understandiyo at the end of the day. But that's not my business. Yeah, let me shoot my shot. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And this is predicated by kubani kwangena ngola hlobo. But you can't come into your dreams and into your life with defeating mechanisms and think that usenza into that makes you happy, it's going to also make other people happy. No, it's not. You are going to be turned against on. People are not going to want to be around you because you're on your shit. Do you think people want to be around you when you're up in your level? Yeah, it gets lonely, bruh. It gets crazy, it gets lonely.
I feel like that's why in the past I didn't put my hardest in the things I wanted because I didn't want. I was lonely.
Yeah, la loneliness. Ungakho willing ba mawuntoni mawisacrifice and uyinyamezele. And once uyinyamezele and you get the hang of it, you find ukuthi this is all about it. This is supposed to be ngolhlobo. Isn't it supposed to be ngolhlobo, dude? You ain't supposed to have someone hell holding your hand. Why? Why must be people holding your hand? What do they know about what you want? Just think about it, Fit. Because even if you tell them, they're not gonna give you. You're still gonna have to go and get it for yourself.
You just are exerting your energy unnecessarily.
When ubanika Jesa to continue to dissipate your energy, because it could find amongst your friends you were the only one who had aspirations. You're the only one who had goals. But you just needed a different circle of people. Even if it was just one person.
I remember I was chilling with the class. The last time I actually chilled with them this year, I think around June, July, they were singing S04E15. Yeah, I've been there scared. I thought that high school. They were like, no.
Now you're having regrets. Yeah. You made the bed, lie in it. Like safarisha for it seasons safarisha for the podcast. But it's so by two for the next. I don't care. Because there are people who would even it doesn't matter the way you're successful, you're successful. At the end of the science,
catalog.
In 2030, the same thing, cooking up a storm. Nothing is gonna happen, bruh, to us because at the end of the day, safe land. They're gonna fall off. That relationship, that girl that you think is gonna like you forever, ain't no guarantees, bruh. But death and taxes. That's the only two guarantees. So now I'm not gonna predicate land or whether depending on Zinto, because I've met them. They want to opinionate on what you're doing, but they're doing nothing. I'd respect your opinion, Yago, bruh. Because you're onto something. But for motherfucker, the entire year, the consumer, bruh, you have 70 plus videos. In a period, in July. It's November now. Kukunzima nayi-1 kwabanye. Ugcwele i-catalog phaka lapha isiya, ulibele ukuqhayisela abantu. Ndithi kutheni ungaziqhayiseli uyikhuphe sikuve. Why are you afraid of judgment? You want to be great, but you're afraid of being judged. Stop being hypocritical, man. We can't be this old if and playing ourselves.
Wasting time, and other people's time that think that you're serious. Because for example, bro, like
it reminds me of my ponga.
That wasted my fucking time. I thought this nigga was serious. He ain't serious about shit.
Read energies. This year taught guys about read energies. Energies never lie, bro. The energy that you're feeling from a person is not lying. Especially if you're paying attention. It's not lying, bro.
It's like there's something in your body. Yeah, subconscious or what? There is something that's telling you that, hey, man.
This is too much intelligence, bro. This body knows too much. Yeah?
In us.
Guys. And we must respect ourselves in that kind of nature. That's why bro, I'm gonna expand my knowledge. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Namhlanje I'm working out in the morning. I'm listening to an audiobook. Wenzani wena about your shit? Yeah? I suffer every morning. I have to. I can't be able to handle your end of it if I don't do those things. Create systems. Guys, read Atomic Habits. James Clear. I have audiobooks and PDFs. For all those who are lazy to read, you can listen. So ignorance is a choice, bruh. Where would I have been, Yan, if can't is damn? I say this all the time. I give credit to myself for not giving up. And also I give credit to those. Yeah, look at me now. Who else would have been if it wasn't for me? And I think that's the attitude you should instill in your life as well. You don't get here by thinking less of you. By continuously compromising. No, bro. Compromises are not going to take us nowhere, bro.
Jack Bullet and BLUUD are together. They're walking together. Something's up.
What a day, what a day. It's yet another beautiful Sunday that I was blessed with. It's opportunity for me to venture deeper into the concrete jungle as we head towards our second week of the last month of this year. We have faced many battles. There are challenges. There are things that with the past week we wish we would have achieved. But the attitude of mere wishing won't change anything. Instead, it will make you even more vulnerable. You cannot be able to change things that have passed. The only thing we can do is just learn from them. And as the motivational maniac, I had to learn that the hard way. That sometimes I need to channel my own motivation towards myself. That I'm also human and that I also go through adversaries. And that while I'm going through these adversaries, I must be mindful of the person that I will become the moment I avail myself to them fully. Each and every one of us has demons that we are facing. And with each and every encounter, it is two decisions that we are met with. Either we continue to run or we face. So it's flight or fight. And then the last one is freeze. The importance of patience and also the fact that whatever comes my way is a manifestation of my thoughts. I pay careful attention to this fertile soul called my brain because it is the one that provides all these thoughts. And in me availing myself to these thoughts, then I can be able to see whether they will work out for me or not. This is the month that a lot of things had to be figured out. A lot of things had to be put to bed. I had to be aware that acceptance is the key to change. I cannot be able to change my current situation if I don't accept how it is currently. And regardless of whether I did find myself in that position, I'm quite glad I didn't stop. Because it's not about the size of the dog, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. So the moment I started to look within, that's when I had to face the hard challenges. I had to listen to the voices of myself that I had spent so many years in trying to drown, in trying to avoid, thinking that brought me strength, but instead it made me weaker. There is no battle better than the battle that you have within you. And fundamentally, I've had many inner battles that I have won. And that is one of the most important benchmarks that I have placed for myself. That the mental and the internal battles matter more than anything on the outside. And I've found that within me moving with the spectrum, I've started to see that once you start to care about yourself, then you start to piss other people off. To me, that is a clear indication of the work that they failed to instill in themselves. And our life is our own making at the end of the day. If we don't have what we want, it is on us. The same way when we have what we want, it's also on us. We are built for abundance. We are built for endurance. And we are built for prosperity. But within our journey through this concrete jungle, something changes. We start to believe things that no longer serve us. We start to believe what the world tells us, that we must conform, that we must obey, that we must be humble. And yet, in many instances, what we give out there is not what we get back. This is the thoughts that I'm going through when I'm in the hyperbolic chamber, where I have to face the fact that in my previous relationship, I'd been too needy. And I grew up partly throughout my adulthood without having any male direction. What happens in your childhood really does impact your adulthood as a person. And that is what I've found at this age, is that I'm still healing from a lot of things that were done, or the things that I went through when I was a child. We are still healing from all this trauma. We are all healing from this trauma that we have been through. And how important is it when we are hurt not to hurt others? 2022 has told me we need to heal. Whatever you're going through, you need to heal. Before you avail yourself to the possibilities that you think you are deserving of, you first need to heal. And you could find that these situations will unveil themselves through misery. And these situations give us great opportunity for us to self-introspect. Because the responsibility that I had placed on myself was that I am responsible for how I feel. I am responsible for how I act. I am responsible for every decision that I make in my life. 100% of choices belongs on my side. Whatever the outside world offers me is something that doesn't concern me. It is not within my control. And I cannot even begin to fathom how special I've made myself feel when I understood that I am the prize, that I am the value, I am what I deserve all this time. And every time that I tend to my garden, that is me expressing the love that I have for myself. Every time I work out, that is me expressing my discipline for my work. Every time I meditate, I am also practicing discipline. These things are not easy, but if they were easy, everyone would be doing it. It's hard, but at the end of the day, I do not get to face the world with 120% if I don't go through rituals. 5 of the 7 days per week are days that I have dedicated myself from 2020 to just devote it to meditation and working out. And goddamn, how I love how my body feels, how I feel, how I move, because this is also in total correlation with how the podcast has grown in its entirety as well. Something was happening in August that was a beast of a month. I went in hard with the workout. I went in hard with the marketing. I went in hard with the meditations. And I gave credit to myself. Take some time off to give credit to the fact that you have come this far. Because gratitude unlocks new possibilities. I cannot accept the new with the thinking of the old. I cannot be able to let in the new until I get to release the old. The Thando of 3 years ago is not the Thando of now. And who am I supposed to do better than the Thando of who I was last year? I think you should start doing the same thing. Start trying to be better than yourself, not trying to be better than others. Because the moment you look on the outside, that is when your joy has been stolen. Comparison is the thief of joy. And yet many of us forget this most important quote in my libraries of quote. I love quotes, maniacs. I live and breathe to elevate and motivate. They say you must live and breathe what you want to be. What do you really want to be? What are the sacrifices that you need to make to be that person? Who do you need to cut out? Who do you need to add into your life? What pain do you need to release? What hurt do you need to heal from? My good brother and sister, I don't know who I'm talking to today, but I need you to continue. I need you to realize that one step is all it takes. You don't have to see the entire staircase. Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. on my head. Let me just take you back to the 60s. There's a very famous speech that up until this day, even our kids are going to be taught on. 200,000 citizens gathered at the Washington Memorial to hear the I Have a Dream speech made by Martin Luther King Jr., sorry. No. What amazes me is that this was a time before social media. This was a time before globalization. This was a time of struggle. And yet this is what I love about the black spirit, that we have this tendency even through struggle, we as black people have a tendency of uniting, of collaborating. Where would you have been if you just put your pride aside and say, my dear brother, my dear sister, I like what you are doing. These are the kinds of services or skills that I have. What can I help you with? I see you on social media. I see you on this. What can I help with? I am a tech-savvy person. What can I help with? I motivate. What can I help with? I have books. I have movies. I have series. I have plenty of things that could change your life. How can I be of service to you? How often do we ask ourselves that question? But first of all, that is the question I had to ask of myself. How can I be of service to Thando? The same way, how can you be of service to yourself? So me and how I measure discipline and love is by looking at the things that sustain me. Am I meditating? Because when I meditate, I feel good. When I work out, I feel good. And when I feel good, I perform at my utmost peak. I perform at my best. All of these things are a combination of things that sustain me. And I cannot be able to disacknowledge of what has taken me this far. The same way that your doubt that you keep on instilling in yourself is taking you away from your dream. The same way that my faith keeps on reinforcing my dream. And in this morning, this beautiful morning, I got to encounter the great Joshua Gula. And the first thing that he noticed when I shook his hand was the smile on my face. Because the last time I had interaction with him, I had told him on how I was going through a lot of things mentally. But the mere fact that I had shared this with a man who I know would want me to do my best. He knows that the struggle doesn't stop, but it continues. But the first thing, like I said, he noticed a smile on my face. And I told him before I go that the most important thing that matters, that even though we are facing these struggles, we are still alive to tell these tales. I am still alive to tell what I'm going through. And with the little that the Almighty had blessed me, I did what I could. What are you doing with the little that you have? I decided to pick a corner. I decided to have faith in myself and in the gift that the Almighty has blessed me with. I am devoting myself to sharpening this gift that the Almighty has placed me with, because I understand that it has to be taken care of. It has to be tended to. It needs to be instilled with love, with care. Some days are not going to be good, some days are going to be bad. But the amount of exuberance that I got being in this man's company, touching his hand, because maniacs, I believe life is about energy. We are always interacting in energy realms. Some of us are vibrating high, some of us are vibrating low. But there's a lot that you can tell when you have paid attention to the energy that you possessed about the energy of others. You see, when you work on knowing yourself, other things start becoming, they become clearer to you. This is me thinking also about Lukho Mamputa, also known as Bandz, and how he's talking about how his third eye is still asleep, but it's a little bit woken. But the fact that he has dedicated himself to the journey of learning, it still makes me believe that this is not the end. This is not where we are supposed to be. But our time cannot be spent on all those lost opportunities. What could have? Who should have? They didn't do this for me. Why didn't she? How about you now? Because you know better. These are the same questions that as a teenager I had been asking my mother. But this is because I'm coming from a place of not understanding. You cannot be able to relate on something that you've never gone through. Ever heard the saying, you never know what you have till it's gone? Ever heard the saying, you never know until it happens to you? Too many of us are too opinionated about things they've never gone through. And even though those things can sustain us, or we can learn from them, we choose not to. Which is, it's a choice on our own whether we learn from our pain or not. Everyone is blessed with a choice. 2018, 4 years ago, I did not have the friends that I have today. Yes, I did have my best friend, but this is a new opportunity for me to rethink who I'm supposed to be. Because this year has really made me consider, what if I've been going the wrong way all this time? But look at me, seeing how wonderful it is to absorb all of that. A man who values himself is hard on himself, not others. I need to be hard even more on myself. There are things that I've let slide this year, but I have them in check. That can take you away sometimes from all the victories that you have gone through. Do you know the amount of demons that I face every single Wednesday before I upload an episode? They are the strongest, especially when I'm supposed to upload. It's like a conversation in your head. Like, yo, are you gonna upload today? Nah, look at the weather. Doesn't seem like things are gonna go your way. Oh, look at the bandwidth. Doesn't look like you're gonna make 10 a.m. Are you gonna go on Canva and go edit out those episodes? Are you gonna listen to that person? Are you gonna be in your own head? Look at all these things that I have to fight, and look at how beautiful meditation just helps with that. Meditation reminded me that I am not my thoughts. My thoughts are not me. I am just the observer of these thoughts. How often do we identify with every thought that comes through in our mind? And just remember, whatever comes through your mind and you place emphasis in, it's what you believe in. The same thing with choice. Because there are many unaccounted thoughts that seep through our minds. But out of all those thoughts, we choose to hang on to the negatives. We choose to hang on to things that will further entrench us in our misery. You have mistaken your life. You have mistaken your psychological drama for what you call life. Life is not linear, guys. Like the great Joshua Kula always reminds me that ibangathi kukho amajiko-jiko. Ubona uba ngoku kuyanyiwa, kuyahliwa ngoku. Uvese ungayazi. You even uzibeke position where you're asking to the Almighty, bandiyenzeni for all these things to be happening to me, but you don't stop. Aluta continua. You don't stop. Let's continue. His voice says to me, keep it rolling, Tibla. Keep it rolling. Yeah? Guys, you need to first have that kind of beast inside of you. You see this beast that I'm conjuring? It's growing. You know why it's growing? Because I'm feeding it. Imagine if you dropped one episode 1st December 2021 and then Sipole. And then we want to go and review. How do we know about analytics if you only have one episode? Guys, wake up. Stop playing yourself. There are tools there that are here to help us. But most of us, we are so hell-bent on not being beginners. Forgetting that in this life, you are a beginner at everything. You are a beginner at talking. You are a beginner at writing. You are a beginner at self-expression. You are a beginner at everything. You have to be bad at something before you become good. I was bad at season 1. I was bad at season 2. But season 3, I got better. I don't have season 3 and season 4 without season 1 and season 2. Look at all that darkness that I went through. I could have stayed and say, oh, life is supposed to be this way. But at the end of the day, people don't care what you're going through, maniacs. People want results. We are in a result-orientated culture. Tell us all the misery. Oh, your mommy didn't do this for you. Or your father left you. Or this, or this. But at the end of the day, where is the work? The work will always speak for you. Stop trying to explain what can't be explained, man. Why are you trying to prove yourself to people who are already hell-bent on seeing less of you? Whose fault is that? That's yours. That's yours, man. That's yours. And in most situations, when we are being dealt a bad card, I think it is our responsibility for us to know it. We are way too old now to be forcing friendships. We are way too old now to be begging people that don't want to be in our lives. We are way too old now to think less of ourselves. Like, just imagine if I dimmed my light for 2022. Ndiphi ngoku? I'm sitting there down with them. You see, they say misery loves company. I get opportunities to go to in the street sometimes, and I listen to people's conversations, not because I'm eavesdropping. I'm trying to find out what dominates your psyche, what rules your mentality, what makes you you. This year, it made me stronger. There are things that if I refuse to question, then they would have stayed the same. You cannot be able to change anything if you don't question it. You see, this is where I have a problem with religion, guys. Religion doesn't want us to question anything. Religion just wants to confine us in a certain mental capacity. You see, now the odds have been stacked now. And the fact that I'm enjoying everything in Yenza, that's on me as well. Like an onlooker, you can see and think that, oh, who does he think he is? I think I am me. I am the God of me. I do not praise anything outside of me except me. I understand that the power that the Almighty has in Him is in each and every one of us, including myself. So when I work from that spectrum, it is important for me to inspire others to work from their spectrum as well. What makes you tick? What makes you tick? Have you found that out? Or do you want to be a certified groovist? That is what youngsters want to be now. They want accolades on partying. As if partying was a job. Many people would be billionaires today. Because it's turned into a hobby now. You don't drink, there's something wrong with you. Why, guys? Why are we promoting this kind of culture? But you have to drink in order for you to have fun. Why can't I be high of love? Why I can't be drunk of love? Why do I need to be full of intoxication? Because this huge problem that I have with alcohol is that it impairs your decision making. It depletes your potential. And many of us are not ready to confront that. That is what I had to confront, where now I'm spaced in a position. Either you continue having fun and you have no relationships and you stand for nothing, or you stop this thing and you find something worthy. Because we forget to go to, guys, once you stop this drinking, you need to replace it with a habit, a different habit. I'm starting to be a meditation freak now because of this. I'm starting to be a gym freak as well. People are so insecure about themselves, but the confidence that I've developed because of these things, it's making me a very powerful and very dedicated man. I do not learn discipline and responsibility if I do not seek out these things that will discipline me. Meditation disciplines me. It's like that teacher that when you get an answer wrong, it whacks you. 9 out of 10, 1 whack. 8 out of 10, 2 whacks. Yeah? Are you your own teacher? Are you your own disciplinarian? Are you your own boss? Remember those promises that you made to yourself when the year started? I just hate New Year's resolutions because people have found ways to lie to themselves even further. And whose fault is that? It's a fault of their own. Like, you need to make that commitment to you. What the fuck is that now?
You see the kind of shit I'm talking about? You building, they destroy. In other words, mind your liquor, guys. Mind your alcohol, yeah? I don't have a problem with anyone else drinking, but your behavior mustn't affect us. Yeah? Your behavior mustn't affect us. No, I'm intoxicated. No, it's your fucking behavior. You're fucking immature, that's why. And we have a lot of grown ass people who are still acting like children. You see that discipline of school and how important was it for us to stick to school, because those disciplines are the same ones that have kept us here today. We can be able to tend to izinto that want us because of those disciplines we learned throughout those years. We are always around nihilism. We are always around nihilism. Maniacs, nothing is going to stop what we have started. That is the most important thing that I've dedicated myself to. As long as I have breath in this body, everything that I set out to do, I'll do. Isn't it so amazing? Because I see myself as the sculpture. And every experience, I see it as a sculpting tool. Each and every experience is gonna chisel me into that final form of the structure that I'm supposed to be. You see, we are playing the long game here. You can't have tunnel vision, man. You have to see, but the work now is going to benefit us in the long run. And it's bound to happen that we are going to shake the room like Pub Smoke, R.I.P. Pub. Because when I walk in, I expect the universe to confide to my inhabit. I expect the universe to move accordingly because I made that choice within myself, that I will think nothing less of myself. I will stop being the lesser person. Instead, I'm going to move to prove. You see, lies are destructive, guys. Because we are still now trying to figure out why. Why are we here? You see, people who had it all, where are they now? Fucking whiners can't even survive. Bruh, when you're up against me, I think you should always bring your best. I said it, guys, kula video. I think I should post this video again. But I hope you are ready. Because the only person I'm fighting is me here. What I'm doing has nothing to do with when. If what I'm doing is releasing insecurities within you, that is your problem. You should deal with that. That is your nana. I am not gonna stop and dim my light because now all of a sudden when you come from darkness and you enjoy darkness. No, we are not in that business here. We are in the business of elevation and motivation. And I read something in my podcast movement, a group today, that what I heard is that not everything you're gonna do, everyone is gonna like. Yet another lovely and impactful episode. Until next time, Namaste.